Thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up. Bang! Quality over quantity. LeBron has beaten some of the best competition in NBA history. He's the GOAT emoji. I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not swear. I will not swear.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
All right. Good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Brian Snow Show. I don't have my full setup because this morning I had to run to Indianapolis for a doctor's appointment, which turned out great. And I forgot some things at home because I decided at the last minute I was going to come out on location. But everything is here. Everything I need is here, I should say. And I want to welcome you all to this afternoon edition, this Monday edition. It's May 1st, 2023. And I want to thank y'all for coming with me. Later on, we'll have 3 editions of Brian's Bet Flips. This is where I give y'all my piece of gambling advice. And one of the games I'm going to feature will be Game 7 of the East first round in the NHL playoffs between the New Jersey Devils and the New York Rangers. I'll also take a look at the Boston Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers from a series standpoint as well as the game standpoint. And we'll also look ahead to the Lakers and the Warriors in an actual playoff series for the first time since 1991. And I will also explain why the Warriors have a very distinct advantage, even with Anthony Davis being fully healthy and in tow for the Lakers. I will explain later on why the Golden State Warriors, the defending champions, have a decided advantage. But I'm going to get a little personal here to lead things off. And instead of apologizing for all of the inconsistencies, I will just say I'm going to get better. I will just say things have gotten better and things will be much, much happier with everything that's going on. I will also say that by 7 p.m. this evening, there will be 2 new radio stations, online radio stations that will appear, and that is Snowman Multimedia Sports 1 and 2. I'm working on both of those. I will be working on those throughout the course of the afternoon. Let me thank the folks at WQEE 99.1 FM in Atlanta for picking up this show, as well as Snowman in the Morning. You will hear both of those in replay form. And let me also just say that this is going to be fun. From here on out, this is going to be fun. It's going to be logistically correct, and it's going to be a lot of hard work. And I know it's going to be a lot of hard work. when you set out on a venture like this, there's so much that you need to do, to take into consideration. And there's a lot I did not take, there's a lot I did not take into consideration. And I want to apologize for those of you who expect nothing but excellence from me. And I haven't delivered that yet on this show. I try to do it every day with Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Cole is a fantastic executive producer, and I want to thank you guys for that. I want to make sure everything is on point and everything just continues to go. And we got folks in the fanatic feedback zone already. Where Sick Diggy is asking me, where's your leisure suit and platforms, Ryan McCarthy? As Ryan leads it off, saying get funky, and Sick says it's on NCR After Dark, and Michael Samayo. I hope I didn't butcher that. If I did, please forgive me. Says good afternoon to you. And what we're also doing with the show and shows in the future is we are going to be combining this platform and two others. Now that I have the setup that I want at home, I'm working on the road setup being the same way. I want to make sure everything is on point and make sure everything is right. Because now we have a big television deal in place with the folks at CSTV in Reno, Nevada. And let me thank them for being quick to pick up the show and staying on us about timing, staying on us about the commercials that we run, because there will be more. And, just keeping everything together. Our senior producer, Tom O'Boyle, joining the crew and helping here. Let me thank the producer of the afternoon show, Michael Doherty, and of course our wonderful executive producer of Snowman Multimedia Sports and both the shows that you see, the one and only Cole Johnson joining us here. Want to be a part of the feedback zone? Then all you have to do is shoot me a message. And you can do that several ways. I'll explain tomorrow all the new ways where you can keep up with the show. Just want to put some precautions in place to make sure what happened quite a few times since we've come on the air does not continue to happen. Because the one thing that can kill a lot of momentum is failing to prepare. That's as simple as it gets. Today, I will say that I was kind of prepared, but then I wasn't. I have to eliminate the kind of. And that is on me, because I am the founder of Snowman Multimedia Sports. I am the CEO of said company, and I'm the founder of both the radio shows, radio/television shows and projects that you see. And a few things fall on me, quite a few things fall on me, and it's up to me to have the right team in place to have everything together, to have everything ready, and to have everything done. All right? That's the most important thing, to have everything done and ready, because you cannot and will not expect the best if you don't give your best. And I haven't. For so many reasons that I could lean on to say that, I had this going on, I had that going on, all that is true. But be that as it may, I have not lately done a good job of having everything together that needs to be together. And I totally put that on myself. But since the draft show that we did on Thursday, things have really come together. Things have really gotten into place, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate everyone that has gone with me on the road to this project. And I'm getting back into the afternoon interviews where you meet folks from all kinds of walks of life on this show, And what I'm also working on for both shows, both feature shows that you see, is an expansion. And I mean that in terms of time, because I have the feeling with all the content that we do on a daily basis, a weekday, daily basis, we're going to need some more time to talk about it, because you can only mush so much into 2 hours. And Victor got in my ear, Victor Locke, or Victor Locke, as the character Ray has appointed. There's only so much you can do in a couple of hours, but then there's so much more that you can do if you expand the show. So the expansion is going to be slow. But I also know that by the time football season gets here and we start talking about any and everything, so basically we're looking at the fall of expanding the morning show to 4 hours, going from 6 to 10. I'll handle the first couple of hours, and then Cole Johnson will join me. And then having this show go to a full 2 hours, because there's so many people that I want to interview, and the times will change also. So I will keep everybody, including all my producers and directors, abreast of all the changes that are coming, all the time changes that are going to happen. And it's up to me to keep everything together. Like I said, after the doctor's visit I had this morning, which turned out to be absolutely wonderful, I have to stay on point and I have to stay focused. And plus, we got sponsors to get. All right? We have a lot of sponsors to get. You know, I've had people tell me, you know, flat out, you know, we don't believe you can do it. Okay, watch this. That's all my response is. Oh yeah, watch this. Some say you can't. I say I can. And to a better point, I not only say I can, I say that I will. And I will. Trust me, I will. Take a 2-minute pause, and when we come back, Brian's bet slips will come your way as I look at a preview of Game 7 between the Rangers and the Devils, and we'll take a look at Game 1 of the Celtics and the Sixers. And Tom's not going to be happy with me with my prediction. Back in 2 minutes.
So this thing called sports, it has fans again. It has full stadiums, full arenas, and more. And you want to be a part of it, don't you? Of course you do. If you begin to scour the resale market, there will be tickets available. And what you need to get those tickets that you want so badly is SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the app available to you that lends a hand in helping you get the tickets that you want for the events that you want. SeatGeek rates the tickets on a 1 to 10 scale, and the best part is the tickets are vetted for authenticity, so you know what you are getting and you know you are not getting scammed. And now you can save even more by using the code SNOWMAN and getting $20 off with your very first purchase. Yes, you can do all of that with the power of SeatGeek, helping you get to the games that you want, so you fans can fan. So let's all fan.
This planet has been great to me. It's given me gifts that I can't even explain. It's given me adventures and memories I'll never forget. And Battleborn, I think, has given me the opportunity to go beyond and give something back. How can I be a better custodian to this planet and the place I live? That's where I am with Battleborn. Let's make the planet a better place.
Hey y'all, Snowman here. Catch me, Cole Johnson, Wise El Jefe, and the usual cast of characters as we bring it to you every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern. It's called Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, and it's right here on CSTV and CSTVnow.com. Join us, won't you?
This is Brett, and you're watching Shady Sports Network. Tune in, hit that like button.
You might wonder, what do these guys do? Player signing announcements. I never in a million years thought you would actually come on to break this news. So without further ado, go ahead and tell everybody what happened today.
Yeah, man. I just had a workout with the Cincinnati Bengals. Signing me right out.
Without further ado, I'd like to announce that, I'll be taking my talents to Salina Liberty.
This just in. The Major League of Football is reportedly collapsing, unable to pay hotel room bills, with players being kicked out of their rooms and hotel managers asking them to leave voluntarily without issue.
And then we got Lions wide receiver Williams is debuting this week as a starter. That's something to look at as far as the eye test goes. And then another one on the eye test is Mostert might be coming back to Miami. And we can see if he has a role in this offense and see if he can be viable for the next couple weeks coming and help us in the playoffs and possibly towards a championship. That would be very nice because he's sitting on my bench right now.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is The Brian Snow Show.
Welcome back to this edition of The Brian Snow Show on this Monday, May 1st, 1st of May, May Day. And let's have some fun here. I'd like to do a little stuff that we like to call Brian's Bet Slips. And this segment comes courtesy of my producer, Michael Doherty, who gave me the idea. So I'm going to run with it. So here's one of the games that I want to look at and look at very, very closely. It's Game 7 of the first round of the playoffs between the New York Rangers and the New Jersey Devils. The over-under they're looking at, and this is according to VegasInsider.com, is 5.5 goals. And they're looking at that for a total. The Devils, are favored by 1.5 in this game. And considering the way that this series started out and how it's been flipped and flopped either way, and I'm hoping Michael can get me the odds for the Celtics-Sixers game that I want to look at as well. They have the Devils favored by 1.5. Here's a question. Which New Jersey Devils team is going to show up? Is it going to be the one that played the first 2 games, or is it going to be the one that played the next 3 games? Because Game 6 in New York was just Game 6 in New York. It was at MSG. The Rangers were desperate, and they got the win that they needed to. What do we do? Which way does Brian lean here? As I'm just getting back into sports gambling after many, many years off. But you know something? I'm going to go with it. It's in the Prudential Center. It's an 8 p.m. I believe it's an 8 p.m. face-off at the Prudential Center. And I think you're going to get the Devils team that was the better team all year. So I'm going to go ahead and go with it. I will say that you take the New Jersey Devils. You take the under. Take the under in this case because it's Game 7. Doesn't matter if it's the first round, second round, conference finals, or Stanley Cup. It's Game 7. 2 of the most glorious words in sports playoffs. Game 7. And as much as I would like to trust the Rangers to snatch a third one in the Prudential Center, I don't think it's going to happen. So take the Devils. You take the goal. You take the differential. They say a point. They say 1.5, goal and a half for in New Jersey's favor. I think it's going to be even thinner than that. It's going to be by 1, and I wouldn't be surprised if they play a couple of extra periods to decide this. So I say go with the Devils, but take the under in this case. Now to a series that Tom wanted me to talk about, because he is from Philly. You have the Boston Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers. The Celtics have eliminated the Atlanta Hawks in 6 games. The Sixers took care of the Brooklyn Mess in 4 games. But then you have the Sixers running into their usual kryptonite, and I say usual because since 2020, the problem for Philadelphia, or hell, since 2018, if you want to think about it, the problem for Philadelphia has been the Boston Celtics. And they're going to be a problem in this case. It's going to start in Boston, and it's going to end in Boston. I think it's going to be 5 games, no more than 6, because the Sixers, pending the health of Embiid, can eke out 1, maybe 2 games in this series. And that is a huge maybe. Which leads me to a short discussion about one Joel Embiid. Now, I want y'all to listen carefully. I do not and will not ever doubt Joel Embiid's physical prowess when it comes to basketball, ever. I've been seeing that since Kansas. But there are 2 mitigating factors with Joel Embiid from him being the best center in basketball. One, can he stay on the floor and stay healthy? And secondly, does he have it up here between the ears to tell his teammates, look, it's time for you to feed me the ball? And lately, that has not been the case for Joel Embiid. If you want to think about it honestly, it hasn't been the case for him since 2018. And this is nothing against Joel Embiid at all. This is nothing against Joel Embiid. And I just don't think, I think that the Celtics are living in Joel Embiid and the Sixers' head rent-free. And the same with James Harden, and the same with everybody, and the same with everybody else in that lineup. The same with Doc Rivers. So remember, Doc Rivers just coached the Boston Celtics. So game 1 is tonight. Brian's bet slip says take the Boston Celtics. You give the points because the Celtics are going to come out ready to fire. But it's going to be the over-under is 214 and a half. I'm going to say go under in this case because for some goofy reason, when these 2 teams get together and game 1 happens, it always winds up being a low-scoring second half of this game, which tells me to take the under. Now, I'll do best slips for every game of this series, but I want y'all to have fun with this. I want you to gamble responsibly, and I'm getting all of the odds from Vegas Insider. So I say go with the Celtics, give the points, but take the under. Now we go to game 2 of the Western Conference semifinals between the Phoenix Suns and the Denver Nuggets. And you saw what the Denver Nuggets did to Phoenix in game 1. They dog-walked them 125-107. But Denver's only getting 4 in the Pepsi Center, in the Ball Arena. I keep thinking Pepsi Center. I almost said Nicholas Arena. I don't trust it. I think Phoenix is going to get dog walked again. Because as we talked about this morning on Snowman in the Morning, if you're Phoenix, you need a lot more than Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. DeAndre Ayton needs to step up and be the big man that he is being required to be in Phoenix. And right now, he's just not it. Because you allowed Nikola Jokic, who didn't play a good game at all in game 1, and yet he still handed you 24 points and 19 rebounds. Jamal Murray came up with 34 off the bench. The Denver Nuggets bench is deep, they are talented, and they are loaded. And Phoenix is razor thin on the bench. And plus, with Phoenix, as Chris Paul goes, so do the Suns. They're not going to put it in Kevin Durant's hands. Durant can score the basketball, true, but who does Phoenix really want to trust with this series? They're not going to trust Devin Booker. They're not going to trust Kevin Durant. They want everything to flow through Chris Paul because they seem to think that Chris Paul can steady this team and bring them back. He's not going to be able to do that. I am sorry. It's just how I feel right now. So Denver is getting 4 at home. Lay the points, and you take the over in this case because Nikola Jokic is going to have another awesome game, and that Denver bench is going to be something else. All right? I predict another blowout. I really predict another blowout win for the Denver Nuggets. And I wouldn't be surprised if they put up 120 points again in this. So now let's do some baseball. One of the games I want to look at, and I'm looking at this carefully, the Cleveland Indians. Oh, excuse me. Let me take that back. Let me do this one. Let me do the San Francisco Giants and the Houston Astros. Astros losing 2 out of 3 to Philadelphia. They won on Sunday Night Baseball. And the Giants are playing better. They're playing much better than what I expected them to do. Houston's favored in this game. And I would say take Houston, but don't give the runs. Don't give the runs. You take the runs because for some reason so far at the top of this season, the Giants tend to start a series well, but not end it well. Anybody look at that Mexico City series against San Diego, especially Saturday's game? They blasted 11 home runs in that game, 11 of them. So that's the game. That's the baseball game I want to look at. And to recap the bet slips, I did 3 of them I did 3 free ones for you. You want to take the New Jersey Devils, and you want to take the goal. Take the goal and a half, and you take the under because 5.5 is the total that they're looking at. For Philadelphia and Boston, take Boston. You give the points because I don't think Philadelphia will be ready for Boston, even though Philadelphia has had more time to rest, and Boston seems to have gotten their act together, and I think they're going to carry that all the way through to the next round. So as much as Tom O'Boyle is going to playfully yell at me, I'm looking at history, and history is going to repeat itself. I'm looking at Boston to win that series, and it will take no more than 6 games. Hell, if you want to really think about it, I wouldn't be surprised if it's 5 games. If it's 5 games or less, which I'm saying 4 or 5 games, that Philadelphia is going to get taken care of by Boston Celtics. Now, I could totally be wrong. These are my thoughts. Gamble responsibly, if y'all would please. This is just me having fun with it. Houston's favored in their game against San Francisco in terms of baseball. So I say take Houston, but also take the runs and the money line. Those are Brian's bet slips for this afternoon on this Monday. I will have this every afternoon, looking at baseball, looking at basketball, looking at everything that you guys want to look at. And as this segment develops, I'm going to get better. Michael Doherty and I are looking for a betting partner. We're going to add some props into this game, into this segment as well, and just go with it. We're just going to absolutely go with it. And don't be surprised if you see this on our TikTok as well. Follow us on all of our social media. The ID you need is @Snowman Multimedia. And I have a little message for you Laker fans when we get back.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
We were always hippies at heart, I guess, and that was one way that we showed it before we became full-time RVers.
And we were definitely living small and minimally.
What made us decide to go with Battleborn was everyone from their top leadership team down to their service department helped us so much the whole way through. Our relationship with Battleborn is so much more than business. And me and Dennis love to jam together. We've played together multiple times, and that's been an awesome transition. Be able to learn so much more about the business. Also, just make some awesome friends.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a...
Now, I'm known as the guy who can fix just about anything, but The technology in most appliances requires very special training to fix, and that's why my family has Choice Home Warranty.
Choice Home Warranty covers over 25 major home systems and appliances. That's your AC, heating, plumbing, kitchen and laundry appliances, and so much more.
Call Choice Home Warranty now before something breaks down.
Get protection for your heating, AC, plumbing, kitchen and laundry appliances, and more.
Call 800-973-6121.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is The Brian Snow Show.
Okay, halfway home here on this edition of the Brian Snow Show. Thank you all for joining us as I am on location here in Edinburgh, Indiana this afternoon. And let me say something to some people that seem to question my journalistic integrity like I question theirs. So I've said some things over the years about, oh, you know who, number 6 with the Lakers, and I don't need to spit out his identity. So just because I said I've seen better in 4 years of watching basketball, I'm told I'm not a journalist. I'm told you don't actually believe what you believe. What, that he sucks at basketball? Yeah, I believe that because I've seen better. How many times do I have to explain that? I'm not going to explain it much longer because I'm tired of fighting with these people. And Victor said it to me so eloquently that it's become cultish when we're talking about this guy. I spit out, I've seen better. I get looked at with a third eye in the middle of my head. Why? Why can't I say that I've seen better? Which I have. Hell, I can spit out the names of 10 forwards who played a more fundamentally sound forward position than this guy. And y'all know the guy I'm talking about. But you know something? Something my dad used to say to me a lot, and I mean a whole hell of a lot. I can show you better than I can tell you. Well, I'll continue this tomorrow with the showing, but I will tell you today that I have seen so many more fundamentally sound forwards than the guy I'm speaking about. And y'all know the guy I'm speaking about. I'm not allowed to say his name until Wednesday. Like Scottie Pippen, perhaps. Like James Worthy. Like Larry Bird. Like Tim Duncan, if you want to go modern times. Like Adrian Dantley. And when I said Adrian Dantley, when I said Adrian Dantley, you know, every other name, let me go all the way there. Every other name that I bring forward, every other name that I bring forward is met with criticism, and not good criticism either. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about. You haven't seen play lately, have you? Yeah, I've seen him all 20 years, and I stick to my statement that he sucks at basketball. He can't play it correctly. He hasn't learned how to play it correctly, and he has not refined his game. He has not refined his game at all, period. And I'm sick and tired of people telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about. And I got a few new chats coming in. The David 3000 Network says hello. He's in Massachusetts. Porter 1992 says hello. And I want to read this right. Matt, I don't want to butcher this name, but another Twitcher says says hello, asks if I read chat. I do. I want to be sure I read your name correctly, but I don't want to butcher it, so I'm not going to try it. But I just spat out 3 names right there: James Worthy, Scottie Pippen, and Larry Bird, that played a more fundamentally sound forward than you know who. And the thing that people tend to forget, the thing that a certain group especially tends to forget that I put in my sentence, is more fundamentally sound. Okay? That's the thing. More fundamentally sound. I've said that for the 2 decades that this guy has been active. I've said that for the 2 decades that this guy has been active. Now, is he a fabulous athlete? Yes. And I will say nothing, and I will not say otherwise. Never. I will never say anything otherwise. The problem that I have is that people associate that with a complete game. Okay? People associate that with a complete game. And I'll use his initials. LBJ has never had a complete game. He has never had a complete game, and he has never worked on it. Period. I've had folks challenge me saying, well, you haven't seen him work on his game. Yeah, I have, and it has not been good. It has not been good. Even in the COVID championship, they didn't ride him, they rode Anthony Davis. Now, was it smart for LBJ to acquiesce to Anthony Davis? Yes. Will he do it in this upcoming playoff series against Golden State? My feeling is no. I can't say my answer is no because I haven't played a game yet. But again, hear me carefully. I know that he is a fabulous athlete. I also know that he keeps himself in better shape, which prompts a contradictory question. If he keeps himself in such great shape, why won't he play a full 82 game season? Okay? How about that? If he keeps himself in such great shape and spends all this money on his body, why doesn't he play an 82 game season? Is he that afraid to play 82 games? Because he's only done it once in 20 years. And that, of course, was the 2017-2018 year, which he did play all 82 games. He played every game of the playoffs and wound up getting swept in the finals. Oops. Once upon a time, he was the beast of the East. I will grant you that. I will grant you that. He's gotten a lot of help from the whistles along the way. And I dare someone I dare someone to contradict me. He's gotten a lot of help along the way. Here's one of the things that he is missing, has always been missing, and will forever miss until he works on it. It's called a jump shot. And I will add a very key word into my sentence: a very consistent jump shot. And when I say consistent, I'm talking about shooting 50% from the floor for at least 10 seasons. There's a certain person who has, but I will not mention him here. Again, it goes back to a statement that I've said many times before and will continue to say. He is a fabulous athlete, but he leaves a lot to be desired as a basketball player. A lot. A lot. And while I'm throwing questions out there, riddle me this. If he's such a great basketball player, how come he can barely shoot 75% from the free throw line as many times as he gets fouled? How come if people want to argue me to the contrary that he's such a fundamentally sound player, then riddle me this. How come he commits a violation almost every time he steps to the free throw line for the first 2 free throws? And he's not the only one. He's not the only one. I know there are plenty more that do the same thing. What's the violation that he commits? He crosses the line before the ball reaches the hoop when he shoots the free throw. Don't want to talk about that, do you? There's a lot of people that don't want to talk about that, but it's the truth. He commits a violation almost every time he steps to the free throw line on the first one. You know his best free throw percentage, and I'm dropping nothing but facts here, okay, and I'm looking at them as well. You know the best free throw percentage that he has had? The best percentage that he has had during his career in a season from the free throw line is 78%. And while he wants to be compared to a certain king of basketball, one thereof, by the name of Michael Jeffrey Jordan, you know Michael Jordan's worst free throw percentage of the season was 78%? And that came in his rookie year. I've always made the contention, and I will continue to make the contention, that MJ has done more in 13 seasons than LBJ has done in 20. And I mean from a pure basketball standpoint. While I'm throwing everything out there, let me throw this out there. Has he really had an impact on the game? Really? Has he had an impact on the game where teams are changing their strategy because of something he introduced to the game? No. Has LBJ had to change his game because of something that's been introduced? Yes, he has. You know the person who introduced it? His name is Wardell Stephen Curry II. His name is Wardell Stephen Curry II, a.k.a. Chef Curry, a.k.a. Steph Curry. And Sam has gotten a hold of me. I know my audio stuff. I'm using my earpiece right now. I don't have the full setup. I will have it better situated tomorrow. I'm asking y'all to just please bear with me at least today, because of a monkey wrench in my schedule, and then a few things that I don't have with me. This is what I have to use. So I'm begging y'all, please bear with me for the remainder of this episode. But let me ask you this. I've talked about the free throws. I've talked about his shooting percentage, which I'm looking up here right now. And the only reason he's shooting 50% from the field as a career is because he's played 20 years. That's the only reason. And a hypothesis, aka true statement that I've already spat out, is that Michael Jordan has done more in 13 years than LBJ has done in 20. Much more. Much, much, much more. And you know what's sad? No one wants to look up the numbers and figure out what I mean by me saying that. No one wants to look them up. Well, I can't say no one wants to look them up because people do, but then they skew the numbers, thank you to a 4-letter network who does that on a daily basis. They just don't want to look. They just don't want to look anything or everything up that I'm talking about. You know why? Because they're afraid to. They're afraid of the facts. They're afraid of the facts. And thank you to Sam Shady for catching what he caught. I appreciate you. But if he were to defeat the Golden State Warriors, the defending NBA champions, in a playoff series, then and only then would I add a little bit of legitimacy to his quote-unquote candidacy for greatest of all time status, which ended in 2011 after his woeful performance against the Dallas Mavericks. If you're supposed to be the greatest of all time, which he declared himself after 2016, after a Chase Down block, and I got more to say about that, but I'll do it behind a paywall. If you're supposed to be the greatest of all time, then in two situations where you declared yourself the greatest of all time, you don't come up short of the mini-me in the finals. 2011 against Dallas, 2015 against Golden State. If you won't offer Steph Curry or anybody else in this era or any other era any excuses, then we shouldn't offer any to you either. None. And I'm sorry that you don't even think, I'm sorry that a certain group of people won't even think of it that way. They won't even think of it that way. Why? Because they're too chicken to see the results. Because they're too chicken to see the truth. And people want to tell me that I'm not a journalist. Man, I live, eat, breathe, and sleep research. It's just too bad some people that want to call me a non-journalist don't take their own advice and do the research. As someone quoted to me in a hashtag, and I now get to quote to others, learn sports. Just learn it. And if people want to walk away from this conversation, like I had someone say to me on Facebook, walk away. But you'll walk away with less knowledge if you don't stick around and listen to all those of us that actually know the game. One more segment, and that'll be that. Back after this.
So this thing called sports, it has fans again. It has full stadiums, full arenas, and more. And you want to be a part of it, don't you? Of course you do. If you begin to scour the resale market, there will be tickets available. And what you need to get those tickets that you want so badly is SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the app available to you that lends a hand in helping you get the tickets that you want for the events that you want. SeatGeek rates the tickets on a 1 to 10 scale, and the best part is the tickets are vetted for authenticity, so you know what you are getting and you know you are not getting scammed. And now you can save even more by using the code SNOWMAN and getting $20 off with your very first purchase. Yes, you can do all of that with the power of SeatGeek, helping you get to the games that you want, so you fans can fan. So let's all fan.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
I'm in another lane, I'm a different breed. I'm in another lane, I'm a different breed. I'm everything you can never be. I'm next level. Next level.
Thursday nights are wrestling night on CSTV. Tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific to see all the amazing Next Level Pro Wrestling stars on Thursday Night Throwdown on CSTVNow.com and the CSTV app on your Roku device.
This is Brett, and you're watching Shady Sports Network. This is Brett, and you're watching Shady Sports Network. Tune in, hit that. This is Brett, and you're watching Shady Sports Network. Tune in, hit that like button.
You might wonder, what do these guys do? Player signing announcements. I never in a million years thought you would actually come on to break this news. So without further ado, go ahead and tell everybody what happened today.
Yeah, man. I just had a workout with the Cincinnati Bengals. Signing me right out.
Without further ado, I'd like to announce that, I'll be taking my talents to Salina Liberty.
This just in. The Major League of Football is reportedly collapsing, unable to pay hotel room bills, with players being kicked out of their rooms and hotel managers asking them to leave voluntarily without issue.
And then we got Lions wide receiver Williams is debuting this week as a starter. That's something to look at as far as the eye test goes. And then another one on the eye test is Mostert might be coming back to Miami. And we can see if he has a role in this offense and see if he can be viable for the next couple weeks coming and help us in the playoffs and possibly towards a championship. Yeah, it would be very nice because he's sitting on my bench right now.
Well, let's get ready to wrap this thing up here. We got a few minutes left. Let me thank the good folks at CSTV and CSTVnow.com for airing this program. I know I've had some technical difficulties this afternoon, but decided instead of shutting things down and crying over it to push forward. Mike Doherty, my producer, has been in my ear. Sam Shady, one of our wonderful producers for the Shady Sports Network, has been in my ear as well. I want to thank you guys for continuing to push me forward. Let me thank the folks in the Fanatics Feedback Zone for all of our comments, and I want to thank everybody that has just been absolutely wonderful, that has stuck with us and stuck with everybody. Let me give a few thoughts on the draft that I shared this morning along with Jay Spivey, and this show is dedicated to Jay Spivey, who on Saturday lost his dad. For those of you that watch the morning show, Jay is a very, very dear friend who I was introduced to in 2020 through someone else, and he has ridden shotgun with me each and every Monday morning. And I gave him the option, if you need the time, then that is no problem. But he said, no, I want to come. He said, I want to come on today. So he absolutely killed it this morning. And Jay, you were very much appreciated. But let me, it's his dad, Jim, that passed away on Saturday. Boy, and I told Jay this. If anybody knows what you're going through about losing your dad, it's me. And whoever said time heals all wounds lied. You just find a way to get through. Let me echo a point that Jay said this morning when it comes to the NFL draft. The top teams improve with the draft every year. And right now, the three teams that are basically sitting pretty with their draft picks and unsigned free agents are the Eagles, the Chiefs, and the 49ers. The Eagles and Chiefs played in the Super Bowl. 49ers got to the NFC Championship game. And until someone knocks them off, it's going to be the same way. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised, as Victor's telling me right now, that wouldn't be surprised if Frisco and Philadelphia meet each other in the NFC Championship game again. I wouldn't be surprised at that either. Let me thank my friend Sig Diggy, who came all the way up to us from Norway. As mentioned, I got some other communication things that will be that would be getting underway. That will be getting underway and will be in place. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I want to thank y'all for tuning in and sticking with us. You can hear a replay of this show at 5 o'clock on WQEE 99.1 FM in Atlanta. And you can hear this during the 7 o'clock programming block on Snowman Multimedia Sports. But for now, I want y'all to have a wonderful afternoon. I want God to bless you, and I want you jumpers to hit nothing but the bottom of the net. Thank you, Mark Jones, for that. I am out of here. I will see you tomorrow. God bless everybody.
Thank you for tuning into The Brian Snow Show, where sports is the base, life and fun are the results.